see, we got unit number 1457. What other units we got? Unit 1442.
Are you recording it? Thank you. It's so scary.
What's going on with these idiots?
Because what happened, they just pulled up.
They detained us.
Saying that we stole something and we didn't steal anything, and this is what's happening with the whole group, and I have no idea what's going on.
And they were talking about how all the wingnuts around here were all sketchy people. Like,
They said that, wingnuts?
Yeah, and then, no, they didn't say wingnuts.
Oh, what'd they
all
say?
the people they consider wingnuts.
Oh, yeah.
And then they like...
Unlike the ones right there.
Yeah.
Unlike the armed bandits that are right there.
I don't know
and then,
what's
they were like,
sketchy.
they detained us and talked
like,
about how bad they were. And like, then why are we being detained for this?
Yeah, you just let like a ton of people go.
So they didn't have a reason, they're just profiling? They're not looking for any particular person?
They said that we stole something. And then
did they say what you stole?
No.
Just something?
Yeah, and then like a kid
even asked to search my bag, and like legally we shouldn't even have been detained yet. They had nothing with our name.
And the second like my friend was all like, hey, like, are we being detained, officer? He was like, yes. And he was like, well, what am I being detained
That's
for?
good that you said that.
And then when he said that, he like pointed out his knife.
Yeah, he pointed out his knife. He was like, that's an illegal knife right there. And he put it on the ground. Like, I don't know what
So they detained all of y'all for one
Yeah.
person's illegal knife?
They
can't do that.
No, they're detaining us, but they wouldn't tell us why. But when he asked that, he shut him down by talking.
So you got to know their terminology, because they were all trained to arrest and harass.
Yeah.
They don't know the law, but they know specific pieces of it.
But they let like all the older
So
people
you
go
did
and they
right
kept
when
us
you
kids
said,
there.
all right, am I free or am I being detained? You did that right. But the second thing you say, if they say you are being detained, you say, what's the reasonable suspicion of the crime? It needs to be under the Texas Constitution.
And they said something got stolen, and then he didn't tell us why, how that involved.
Well, then what it was. Yeah. So I like to either plead the fifth or interrogate them back, but don't answer questions.
I'm going to take out my camera.
I didn't do anything.
And always take out your camera because it'll save your fucking life.
I'm not even going to be filming. I'm just
The only thing is,
acting like I am.
The only thing is, if you pull out your camera too fast in Austin, they can shoot you.
Yeah, well,
but you need a
like
camera. Like right now, he's making phone calls to sue for somebody to see what who he needs to, what he needs to do, and how he's gonna justify his job.
Some kid came up. I think some kid accused us of stealing something because he came up and he just like looked at all of us with the officer, and then got in like some fancy SUV and left. Like
some narc. Yeah, they got people that work with them that don't work for them, but they think they're cool. But those people are like, they are all at the bottom of the feeding trough.
Yeah. Because we have one runaway with us, like, so we need to see if she can go, because she can't go.
Well, don't tell them she's a runaway, or they'll take her.
That's why I want
because CPS, the police don't deal with children. CPS does, and they abduct children, and they fuck shit up, and they kill children, and they molest children.
My friend had
but the police can't deal with children, so it's all set up this way. There's a different kind of police.
Is that why they like chose us? Because we're like kids. Like I'm 18. Like I graduated from Westlake. Like,
I don't know. It's a good question to ask them. You know, like it's a good question to ask. Like, why us? Or what is your profile? What does your profile consist of? I've used it before. Actually, the judge asked me if I was homeless. Or no, somebody asked me if I was. Oh, I know what it was. A police officer. I was downtown, and I was police downtown after the shooting of my dog. And there was a guy passed out. I mean, he just looked like a normal guy. He looked like he had a little money, you know. But he was passed out drunk, like in one of those planter boxes, those big planter boxes. And I'm like, there was a cop at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And I'm like, and he was like moving barricades. He didn't care, right? And so I'm like, well, I know you're moving barricades and all, but there's this guy over here, and he's like passed out. And they're like, well, does he look homeless? I'm like, oh. That's a good question. What does homeless? Yeah, what does homeless look like? Yeah. Do I look homeless?
Like I've been homeless.
And he's like, well, do you look homeless? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm asking. I'm like,
why would you specifically be looking for a homeless person? Like, why?
Well, he didn't want to help him if he was homeless. If he's passed out and homeless, it doesn't matter. But it wasn't homeless. I knew he wasn't homeless, but it's hard to say because you don't actually really know if someone's homeless.
Yeah.
You know, you could think Ross Perot's fucking homeless because he's driving a beat-up old truck, but he's a billionaire. Like, the profiles don't work. So that's a good question to ask them, is how their profile works.
Yeah, at least this gives us something interesting to wait for the food truck, you know?
Yeah. Dude, I'm so hungry now. Like, it feels like there's just like this ball of emptiness where my stomach should be.
Yeah, it gets you going. You just gotta breathe through it, relax.
Yeah. I have
It
mono too
releases.
right now, so I'm just like super sick. I have like 102 fever and like
Sorry.
It just got really bad.
You're contagious. Don't be kissing on no guys.
Nah, I'm not contagious.
You have a fever.
Yeah.
Fever's a sign of contagion.
I feel like the incubation period should be over though, but
I'm telling you,
yeah.
don't be kissing on that guy right there. He'll be sick. Mono's gonna stay with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
My sister got it at Rice University.
Yeah, my whole family has it right now. We just passed it to
Were y'all fucking eating out of the same peanut butter?
I don't know. I don't eat with them. Like, I'm not really allowed home. I just sleep there. I'm not allowed home from midnight until I'm really allowed home from midnight to 7 a.m.
So you want to make a police complaint?
What?
You gonna make a police complaint?